we're back again. There we
Not
go.
very dark. Action.
No idea what's going on.
Go. What number is this on?
175.
120.
120.
180.
How much for the you sure that's on? So yeah.
Yeah, the counter.
Dark.
What?
It's adjusting for all the massive sunshine we're having outside.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post. Don't worry.
that
This won't make a lick of difference to anybody watching because on your screen could be darker, brighter, bigger, or blurry.
Alright. Let's
Apparently,
begin
I
with
look better on camera. Apparently.
let's begin with an apology for last week.
Yes.
That was pretty dire. So,
I knew it was going through my little
the
face.
best of intentions were my face made a paper folded onto it.
You think you're not?
Yeah,
Well, just melted.
You've gone on about commitment. We were committed.
I
showed up.
still
Committed to
operate.
making a debacle.
I still operated 100% with even with massive fever. So yeah, I did
Good man. Good man.
Speaking of fever, we've got it's very hot out today. That's out there. Bring our Capel Street store. It's very cool.
We've got
Very
the
calm
air conditioning on
and
full blast, no expense spared.
because we have no expense, we have no air conditioning. It's just a natural coolness in the building.
fridge
You have to
door.
free up the door of the
Over
fridge a few times. Yeah, that's what happens. But fever pitch reached this week.
Whoa.
No more of the football terms or anything like that. So straight on into it. What did you enjoy this week?
Okay, so Batman 75, City of Bane. This is the start of a new arc, but also the culmination of Tom King's arc so
Which
far.
is not based on Night's Fall.
yeah, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. Also, Spider-Man Life Story is now in the early 90s as well. So this is a brilliant series. Mark Bagel on artwork, Chip Zdarsky on script. Oh, Des likes that one. Also, Daredevil knocking out of the park again. Another Chip Zdarsky story.
Yeah.
This is
Who's
really
the art
nice
with on
setup.
that one?
This one.
Let's check Keto.
Shama is on this one here. It's really good. Like you can see Matt's kind of trying to find out he's very religious and all. This is good kind of depiction of the last of it. Oh, wild Anto head.
Actually, don't see nothing. All the carefully coordinated movement.
Superman's pal Jimmy's up. Superman's pal Jimmy is also.
Say, use your words. Use your words.
Whoa.
Actually, just to get back to Daredevil, that and Immortal Hulk and Fuhrer's titles, like one of them, they're ones that keep increasing week to week with new readers.
Oh yeah.
So they're ones we're actually saying, oh, actually you can tell it's actually a good story and that good word of mouth is actually spreading. So
Yep.
it's not as if it's in your face blatantly. It's just each week. Normally you see issues go down, but this one's orders go up as well. So that's definitely
No,
one.
it's brilliant. And particularly with that gap now that Daredevil's no longer going to be on Netflix and stuff. It's definitely, if you're really into Netflix series, pick the comic.
Yeah, actually, Avengers and all these other movies. If you like what you saw in the movies, go read a comic. It really helped the business, as in the comic industry itself, but it helped us as well. But yeah, that's what we're hoping. Some people think like Black Panther and all these movies really improve the comic read. It does for a bit, but not to the extent that people.
Yeah, there's
think
been
it does.
no.
It's great for the characters to get all the exposure.
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
been no proof that if you like a film, you still like comics. It doesn't really work that way. But if you like the characters and the stories, and you're looking for more content, then definitely go to it because there's like
Or more
so much
interesting.
more there. So this is another comic that I said is gonna go like
Can you
top
say
of
what it
the
is?
bestseller. Superman's pal,
Jimmy
Olsen.
Joe, Shabadoo.
Did you just say good man, Anton?
Superman's that.
Yeah. But yeah, this one, Matt Fraction, this is one you definitely want to check out. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but still in continuity, so it's still
Bit
in
like
the
the
shared
video.
universe of Bendis. Superior Spider-Man, this is brilliant, and Otto's really coming into his own now as a character. We're seeing real character development with him as the Superior Spider-Man, or as they begin to call him the San Francisco Spider-Man. Justice League, this one now is, you get to see the Apex Lex in its full form now, which is
pretty
Lex
early
Luthor.
villain.
Yeah, this is, so Lex Luthor is the main architect behind the villain. He has dissolved his businesses, all his assets, he's released it out there and sent to every villain with an offer of, or you have this plan that you want to get rid of your superhero, here's the resources to do it, and Justice League is where it's all kicking off. Spider-Man.
Sounds a bit Dead Man, Old Man Logan-y kind of.
To be honest, it's kind of, it does have tones out of it because particularly in City of Bane, you can see what happens. Because Lex more or less has like the US in his control now. Had to come, Bane's more or less kind of run the show and Gotham and stuff, you know. Definitely, Spider-Man City at War. This is again a great tie-in comic, but new original content as well from the video game. So Marvel Spider-Man. So definitely check this out. This is ongoing.
There's a series linking it. Velocity's coming out soon,
Yep.
which is another one based in the video game.
So this is coming to an end soon, and Velocity's going to pick up from that.
But even though it's coming to an end, we'll still be able to get it in trade format, so you'll get it all in one collection. So if you like stories like that, we can order that in as well.
And then Nightwing as well. This one again is continuing on the adventures of Rick Grayson, kind of solidifying the character a lot more now since the events in Batman where he got shot in the head by the KG Beast.
There we go. So you don't have to worry about the KGB anymore. It's the KG Beasts you gotta look out for. Speaking of beasts, here is Punisher Annual. That was new this week.
Very topical in the news.
Yeah, and speaking of topical and very news, and happy birthday to these lads. Ghostbusters Transformers #2. And so a bit more things to be added to this. If you enjoyed issue 1, you're in for more of the same with issue 2. And again, the artwork's pretty good. It's kind of based on the original IDW Ghostbusters designs. And then the Ectotron has revealed himself. So
Ectotron.
It's good to see what's going to happen there, because that's going to be a 5-parter as well. If you enjoyed the TV show, here is the Orville. This is basically a comic based on it's set between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's also David A. Goodman's writing it, so he is the executive producer on TV show and is also executive producer.
It is a good show. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
I think it's deadly.
Yeah, it's just he didn't get a chance to make Star Trek Next Generation, so make his version of Star Trek Next Generation.
Got its Emmy nomination for Best Visual Effects on primetime TV.
Yeah. And it has some of the Star Trek guys working on it as well. There's actors and behind the scenes.
So the Orville gets first Emmy before Family Guy.
Hey, Lowers. Then Collapser is brand new this week. It's #1. So again, these are just highlights of what came in this week. Come on in and have a lookers and the comics as well in the shops. So in the Bolton Street stores are all the new releases there. Capel Street is where you have back issues and older things as well. So there, anything new like that, just come in and have a look at, and if you like it, tell us, and if you want it, we can make a set of standing order for you. So it's reserved for you from month to month or by week if needed. This is one from our old friend Joe Benitez, a visitor to our shores a few months ago. It's Lady Mechanic #2.
Years ago. How time flies.
Time is flying. Speaking of time flying, we came all the way back to 1969. This is a reproduction of the original Vampirella #1 comic, and it has Neil Adams artwork and all sorts in there as well. What I loved as well is you have all these original ads like 8mm projectors, which is the iPhones of their day, and then send off for all these X-ray specs, monster hands, clubfoots, all stuff. So
it's a colouring book too.
Yeah. So if you want to see what Vampirella was like in our very first issue all those years ago, and then what some of the artists who went on to become big names at DC and Marvel and all that. So this is where they get, and that's how comics were made back then as well. Kind of magazine format as well for that. Also new this week we have the Black series. Oh yeah, Wonder Woman as well. What was the Batman and the Superman ones that came out a few weeks ago? They were based on web series, isn't it? Or they were Walmart exclusives.
Oh yeah, the Walmart. So we had Batman Universe and then Superman Up in the Sky, and this one's the Wonder Woman one now. This is Come Back to Me. Yeah,
so this is pretty good. It's got a nice introduction, or people just want to generally read Wonder Woman. This is like I think it's 5 or 6 parters, so they won't be massive, but they're good value.
I believe there's a Swamp Thing series as well that'd be on the cards, because that's in the Walmart books. So
and Swamp Thing's doing very well at the moment, the TV show. Well, even though it's been cancelled, it's still very, very good.
Oh, well, see, they announced HBO Max.
So we have Darth Maul. This figure was out originally in 2013, and the Scout Trooper came shortly after. These are basically the Archive series. They're re-releases of figures that sold well or are no longer available.
So that's the Black series.
So it's Black series Archive
Wave. So if you missed out the first time around, there's your chance to get them.
Plus, as Des pointed out a few times, the paint is actually a bit better, or a few of the details have been highlighted a bit better on these versions, so people might swap out, or if you, like I said, if you missed out the first time, grab them, because Darth Maul, you get 2 heads, switch out the cape, and you have Darth Maul without the cape, or you can the lightsaber detached as well. Also new this week, we have the Hiya Predators.
Hiya Predators.
The Hiyas and the Howias. So you're getting Warrior, Guardian, Snake, and City Hunter. That's all we have left at the moment. Again, a lot of stuff went on pre-order, so these are what we have left in stock.
The Shadow there as well. Yeah, there's Shadow Predator there.
Really, you can see a shadow on camera.
He was an exclusive there, and that's what
yeah, but that's the Hiyas.
That's the Hiyas.
Yeah, and the G'days.
And there's little boys here.
Oh yeah, we got the tiny. What's it?
Monsters.
These are from the Loyal Subjects. This is the horror line. So they're like a deformed cartoon. Actually, don't scare too much. But there's Reagan, looking very cute from The Exorcist. Father Merrin, I believe, and then Pennywise. We also have Jason.
Jason is there, Freddy,
and there's a few chase figures. So they're black.
Chapter 2 coming out soon.
Yeah, the figures are blacked out. The packaging is blacked out. So it's a mystery figure. I don't know who you're getting, but that's the main characters on the side of it. What else came out this week? Oh, it's a few Transformers. We've got Galaxy Force, Optimus Prime upgrades, basically the old Cybertron design, and now the Siege up line. Transformers Studio Series Long Haul, and also the Diamond Select statue with Bruce Lee, the water one. So it's really nice effects of Bruce Lee kicking water. And they're going to be making more in that line as well, so we put pictures on our Facebook page. Next week we got Aliens Rescue #1, StarCraft Survivors #1, Star Trek The Q Conflict #6, Action Comics 2013, Batman Curse of the White Knight finally coming out, so yeah, Sean Murphy. You have the sequel. So everybody enjoyed White Knight. This is the sequel to it.
So apparently the first one was the present. The sequel's going to be the past, and he said if there's a third one, it's going to be set in the future.
There you go. So in medias res, starting in the middle. Detective Comics 2008. We got Flash 75 and Wonder Woman 75. So we're hitting the anniversary issues shortly after Batman there. Amazing Spider-Man 26. House of X #1. So this is the big one for Marvel next week.
Yep, and you're also going to get X-Men Grand Designs coming out and on do Fantastic Four Grand Design.
Scolari is doing, is he?
Yeah.
Then Star Wars 69. Valkyrie Jane Foster. So she's going to do really well in the land of Asgard. Speaking of, glad to hear Taika is back for Thor 4.
Oh yeah, but Akira's on holiday.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that. If we get more Taika, if we get more Hemsworth and Taika,
he's your friend, isn't he? He's your pal.
I gave him the idea for it. Yeah, there's a picture of me handing him a comic on doing Thor. Yeah. That's official. Don't mind the timeline where it happened. There's a picture of me giving Taika Waititi a comic, and he then went to make a Thor film. So
yeah, you gave him a comic with and the style was it. So
it just happened to have Hell on the cover of it. So
there you
go. A coincidence, weird coincidence. Power Rangers 41 with the foil covers, and then Archie vs Predator 2 #1. Yes, he actually did make an Archie vs Predator. I collected it years ago, and this is the sequel to it. Yeah, you remembering it as well. This one looks a bit better, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then also new toy-wise, we have the NECA Friday the 13th, 2009 Ultimate Chasing. He'll be coming in. NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters, with more of them arriving in next week. And the NECA from the Predator, we have the Assassin Predator, which is the big giant beast fella who will hunt down the other predators. So no matter what you talk in the movie, these are going to be cool figures. So, in closing,
tune in next week where Jay's going to have a boxing match with a very famous comic book creator. Who? Tune in.
Tune in.
Pressure, Des. No pressure.